Welcome to Achievement Unlocked. This is your host, Gage, and joining me today are...
Katrina!
This is Lucas.
Pueblo.
The answer is Alex.
Yep.
We're speaking Kirby now.
I'm speaking Curry. It's like a freaking Pokemon.
Puyo.
Pueblo. Pueblo.
Okay, Gizmo, calm down. You do that way too well. You do Gollum.
My precious. My precious.
That was a little rough, but Gollum's a hard voice to do.
Yep.
That was a little rough, but Gollum is a hard voice to do. I don't know how Andy Serkis does it.
We got a new dude. Oh, wait, no.
Filthy little hobbit, sis.
No, I can do it. My voice cannot, like, gargle and be that high pitched at the same time. It can't. It's not possible. At all. So, to kind of catch people up to speed, we've kind of been slow on episodes. We're starting to record more different things, so I think we're going to be recording this once a week. So we missed Easter.
Yeah.
Chocolate Reese's eggs. They're great.
The day for fat asses to be fat asses.
The day people forget they put eggs somewhere and don't find them till weeks later.
To find them in June.
Chocolate orange.
You find all about like 2 eggs, and then in June you come across them, it's like $10, and it's like, oh, hey, yeah.
I got a chocolate orange.
No, I remember that when
I
my
got
parents still used
Reese's
real
eggs.
eggs.
I love those.
Apparently, we forgot to find an egg that was hidden under the couch.
Oh,
I also
no.
got a shirt and a bracelet and a ring.
I got older.
Ooh, no.
We did nothing for Easter. Nothing.
Yeah, I completely.
You want to know what I did? Yard work. That was my Easter.
I completely forgot about Easter.
The ring is super cool because it's got a horse head and it's got also the horse's tail. So
That's cute.
We're all over the place.
That's so cute. Lucas, what are you doing?
well, I ran out of my ADHD medicine this week, so
He's just rubbing his beard like all over the thing. It's just like.
Do you guys ever have Easters? Did your parents ever do for Easter? It's like they give you like the eggs, but they also give you like actual presents, like it's a birthday or Christmas. Because my parents did that.
No, they'd only just hide chocolates inside the little plastic eggs.
We actually started doing more gifts than we did like candy on Easter, and then now we just don't do anything for Easter.
Okay.
So you guys never did that, like gifts for Easter?
No, my parents.
Well,
my parents weren't
I
really
would get
religious
a
like
basket
that.
for Easter. I used to get a basket for Easter.
Same here.
Yeah, just a basket full of chocolates.
Chocolate. I can grab a
Yeah.
Dorito here.
We are so fat on this podcast. I feel like every episode, someone's either getting the food or a drink. Speaking of which, please, face. Ah, there it is. Diet Coke. A way to be fat but not feel that way.
Gage hypocrite hours.
Diet Coke is a gift from God.
Debatable.
Yeah.
Diet Coke is so good.
To be honest, I can't
Debatable.
stand Diet Coke. Diet Coke tastes like just flat Coke.
Have
Yeah, I
any of you guys ever tried Sprite and root beer mixed together?
That sounds disgusting.
No, never did.
It's good.
Now I've had Sprite and pineapple juice.
You fill it with Sprite the majority of the way, and then like for the last 1/4, it's just root beer.
I've had Sprite and whiskey.
Yeah, I had that mixed with Ciroc.
Yeah, that actually works as a throat medicine, Sprite and whiskey.
I just told you that I can't stand the taste of alcohol.
Oh, I can't either. My parents made me do it because we were having serious like allergy throat issues, and so like here, do this. So they took a small juice glass worth of like filled 2/3 3/4 the way with Sprite, and then with whiskey, and then poured the Sprite in afterwards, and it's supposed to like help clear out phlegm along your nostrils and throat line.
Yeah,
My taste buds can't even handle the taste of wine.
Wine sucks.
yeah.
It doesn't taste good if it gets stuck in your throat.
Some of my parents always told me for a sore throat is like warm tea and a little bit of honey.
I can handle the fruity drinks though.
I don't drink. I haven't drink any of that. I don't drink any of that shit.
I
I don't drink. Period. Liquor does not taste good. It does not.
like sangrias and I like margaritas.
I usually just drink
I never had that. My mom makes margaritas for herself. I'm always kind of like, have a sip, and she's like, no. Because I don't want to actually drink. I still want to like try them, but I have no interest in actually drinking.
Well, that's why they have margaritas and sangrias and all these things, because they don't have high alcohol content.
It's meant to make you feel better about getting sick and wasted through, because you'll be have 3 margaritas and be just as slushed as they are. Another one, please. No, I think if I didn't.
I always limit myself. Whenever I'm having alcohol, I set myself a limit.
Hey, Dad the Bart. Hand me that orange one. I want the pretty orange one. Give me that one next.
Okay, Beavis.
I'm not doing Beavis but him. I didn't realize the voice I'm doing. I'm trying to do the slosh voice.
That's what I just look up when I hear that. I'm like, what?
Give me that one. Give me the big glass too. I want one that drink. I am Beavis. I just realized now I am Beavis.
I got for one of my birthdays, I got this margarita at like Texas Roadhouse.
For my birthdays, it got sloshed. woke up on the sidewalk next morning with a hell of a headache.
It was a frozen margarita.
Missing my wallet, messed with the Denny's. Like, what the hell happened?
It was a frozen sangria margarita. The sangria didn't really come through though. It was mostly just margarita and lime flavor.
I always forget. Like me and Alex aren't drinking age, but you two are. I took a second. Like, should you really be going this much into detail? Like, oh wait, right, you're over 21.
Even
yeah,
if
I'm of age.
You're almost there, right?
Even if I was of age, I'm not gonna drink.
No, neither am I. I never will. Like I said, there's a reason I'm fat, and not already there in terms of drugs and alcohol. I have no interest.
Well, most times people just drink is usually just to distract themselves at parties.
Or it's like a social thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Although
Not
I've
me.
actually never been to
I'm too social for that. No.
I've actually never been to a social gathering that had alcohol.
I mostly do it for the taste, because I actually really like the lime taste of the margarita. But I always limit myself to just one.
What? I know you have the food in your mouth, but wasn't he pointing at? Like, Lucas being quiet. Does he just want a Frito?
She had dropped one.
One fell.
Just dropped one?
Yeah.
I just figured out to edit me out. I'm chewing. I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna turn it up.
No!
Crunching ASMR.
But
Why do you
yeah,
think I cover my mouth?
But I didn't expect how big the glass that they were gonna serve me.
They come in big glasses.
Yeah,
It's like people see like the big like margarita drinks. It's like they're not gonna serve you something that big. They serve you something that big.
Yeah, it was giant.
I mean, it's called Texas Roadhouse. It's either go big or go home, dude. Everything's bigger in Texas.
Oh, if you think that's big, you should see the soju bowls they give you in South Korea. It's literally a large mixing bowl filled with at least 4 bottles of soju.
Oh my god.
And they just give you a handful of straws since it's supposed to be drunk by at least 8 people. I was able to down one of those by myself.
Isn't that kind of
I feel bad for you.
My stomach hated me.
Your liver wants to commit suicide.
Well, I also had half of the next bowl.
Oh.
Your liver wants to Kurt Cobain. I swear, dude. Those are massive drinks.
Oh, trust me. When I got back to my room, half of it came back up.
Oh my god.
Your body's like, no.
And it was not as liquid as I thought it was.
Chunks of ice.
Oh, chunks of something.
Crack the ceramic in the toilet, just breaks through.
Oh, what made it worse is that the light bulb in my room had blown a few days ago, and no one in the repairs had come to fix it. So I'm just sitting there on the toilet in the dark.
Can't see shit.
Can't see shit. We get the lights back on next day, find out somehow it's up halfway up the freaking wall. And now it's aiming downward.
Oh my god. So was it on the ceiling?
No, it just made it halfway up the wall.
Hey guys, I started painting the bathroom for you. Mind helping finish the chores?
We're gonna need some more meat.
We're gonna need a break in between.
Oh,
all right, sure, we'll get paint on. Sure, we'll get some
Stop
paint.
talking about throw up.
We gotta quiet down, please.
Can we stop talking about
Like,
throw
sure,
up?
That'll be enough.
Sure, we'll help you finish painting the wall. You get some paint cans? Like, nah, just give me some more margaritas. Give me a couple hours, I'll be done.
Some margaritas and some churros.
Gentlemen, we gotta quiet down.
That's gotta suck. Throwing up churros has gotta be bad.
Well, it burned going down, it burned coming back up.
Oh, man. Ugh. And then look like someone let a shotgun blast in the wall. The ice just blown chunks in the wall.
You know, I always forget that you aren't old enough to drink.
I'm not.
I always
I'm
forget
18.
that. I always forget that.
I look much older than I am.
It's always
Yeah,
it's
you
usually the
look-
beard that gives off that distinction.
You should have seen me when I had my longer beard. I don't think you've seen me with my longer beard.
You
It's-
look like you're my age.
You look like you're half yours. That's why I always think you're younger. Meanwhile, you're the oldest out of all of us.
Yeah.
Besides maybe Lucas, but out of like us three, you and I, Alex, are absolutely the oldest.
Yeah.
I just have to remember, I was like, oh yeah, she's not like 14. She's 23.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I look like I'm 30. And I've looked like I'm 30 since I was 15. I remember I went into high school. And like before I established like an established friend group, we have to like sit around the cafeteria, figure out like where your place is. I'm just sitting at a table myself, and then these two junior girls and the senior guy like walk up and start talking. I'm just sitting there eating my lunch quietly.
I have good genes.
I remember just sitting there eating lunch quietly, and the dude was pretty quiet, but then the two junior girls were complaining, going like, "Hey, yeah, freshmen suck. They're so like young and annoying." And it's like, just get freshmen out of here. I'm like, I'm sitting right here. I have a choice. I could keep my mouth shut and keep eating, or I can be a smart ass. I, of course, chose the smart ass option. It's like, I'm sitting right here, right, women? And they both turned me like, oh, we thought you were a senior. Because keep in mind, they're junior girls. I have like solid 2 heads on both of them. I've been a big guy since like late middle school.
Yeah.
And I look way older. Not necessarily how I sound older. I feel like once I speak, people start getting a better idea of like I'm a little younger. But I don't think they expect, younger than them.
Yeah.
I've always been younger than everyone in even my own like same class here, my entire life, just because of where my birthday lands. I've always been younger. Meanwhile, I look like I'm twice as old.
Well, I actually had to stay back a grade when I moved here from California, because in California you start school earlier. So I was the youngest in my class when I moved here. I was absolutely the youngest. So I repeated my last year of elementary school.
I never had to repeat a year. Like when I moved out here in Colorado, I was in my 6th grade year. I didn't have to like stop and repeat it. I just changed schools. I was just like out of school for 2 weeks.
Mm.
And then because I moved here, I moved to the Springs when I moved here from Missouri, and that came down to Pueblo that summer, like the following summer, like July, August-ish. But
Well, I also repeated my final elementary year at a different school. So.
well, I didn't have to repeat. I'm just saying, like, I didn't have to repeat anything. I just kind of had a 2-week gap of not going. I was able to transfer in. Most of the material stuff, funny enough, most of the material stuff they covered in the classes I had was stuff I just finished doing back in Missouri. So it's like, well, I know all this.
Yeah.
Like almost to a T. Like in history class, I was doing mine stuff before I left Missouri. Get here, like just starting their mine stuff. I was like, well, I guess I'm ahead of the curve on this one.
Yeah. But you know what was crazy was the fact that we had this person who was in my class who was crazy tall. Like, they looked like they were as tall as a high schooler in elementary school.
Dude, I met a couple of people like in middle
They
school
looked
who were
like
like
a
that.
high school freshman, and they were in their final year of elementary school.
There was this one dude in middle school who was like really, really tall. Like, I'm not joking. He was like as tall as the door frame. It was, but yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah,
I was very intimidated.
yeah. The tallest person I've seen was one of my battle buddies when I was in AIT. He was from Alaska, and he was at least 7.5 feet tall. And apparently, one of his gift packages from his family was a fish about that large,
Oh my god.
and he downed that within 2 hours.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Oh
she,
my God.
by the end of middle school, she was at least 6 foot.
You know, contrary to like my height now, I used to be like the smallest kid out of everybody. I used to be like the shortest one, smallest one. That was like everyone was so much bigger than me. And I think like once middle school it came around, I started like getting a bit of a growth spurt. And then by high school, I was bigger than almost everybody, even though I was a freshman.
As much as I don't like it, I'm still short. I've always been short. And I'm never gonna get any
Not
taller.
being tall isn't everything it's cracked up to be. It's like, I'm not quite to that level, but if it's low enough, you'll like hit your head on door frames, or if they have stuff hanging from the door frame, you'll absolutely hit your head on that.
Yep.
Being bigger.
Yeah, but
Being bigger means being bigger, especially with my weight as well, means you're also don't have as good of a center of balance. The amount of times I've sorry, I know you keep like trying, but I'm trying to like finish my request so I can let you go as long as you want. Like you trip, you hit your feet on crap because you have like less balance. I've sprained both my ankles twice by tripping. I sprained it once by tripping, and then I sprained it other times by stuff out of my control. But tripping once did sprain an ankle for me because I don't have a good center of balance. That's why I don't go on skateboards or anything like that where it requires a lot of balance, because my height and my weight make it impossible to have good balance. I remember I tried on a skateboard. I made like and my street is not a very flat one. It's like flat for maybe like 2 inches in the dead center of the road, and it curves like hard the rest of the way down because it curves back hard as like basically it's like a semicircle street, basically.
Yeah.
And then you have a steep up which the sidewalk. I remember I tried on the skateboard. I wasn't on that like 2 inches like dead center flat, so I made it like about a foot. Fell, ate it, skinned up my arm, skinned up my leg, somehow skinned up my alongside my hair. Don't know how. I have no clue. I was wearing jeans, so I don't know how I messed that up, but that's why I don't do that kind of stuff, is because like my size in general, it like, makes it hard to like do stuff. So being like tall and big isn't as cracked up as it is to be.
Asphalt wanted the D.
Do you remember that game Tetherball?
Yes.
Somewhat.
Do you know how frustrating it is to have the only thing that people need to do in order to beat you at Tetherball is just hit it up?
It's better than someone shorter hitting it and it's swinging around hitting you in the face. Because that did happen to me. The amount of times I tried playing Tetherball and like everyone being shorter than me would hit it into an upwards arc and my face would catch it.
And also imagine this. I'm a 23-year-old woman and I still have to climb the shelves when I'm getting groceries in order to get stuff on the top shelf.
So do I, Katrina. I don't blame you.
Help me? Mister, can you get a step stool for me?
Gage,
I'll be the step stool.
I have to use a step stool to reach the top shelf in my apartment.
They put you on their shoulders like a little kid. Like, can you reach it from there?
yeah, someone who's like 8 feet tall would do it.
It's not funny because that's what I have to do.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't be laughing.
You know what?
Right.
One of the pros of being tall, I can laugh about this.
Exactly.
It's like I said, I've explained some of the faults with being in my size as well. But you know what? At least we can laugh when we look down.
At least your head isn't used as an armrest. For tall people.
Even if I was taller than you,
us tall
I
people
do
can
that.
literally look down on you.
Exactly.
That's all you can do.
Yeah, that's all we can do.
You dare be naturally condescending
unless
to
you
us?
want us, unless you want us like get down to eye level and like sit crisscross.
Gage.
You'd still be taller.
Oh,
You dastardly jerk. How dare you?
he's telling us to lower our volume.
You dastardly
We're
jerk.
getting
How
too loud.
dare you?
Right. Maybe if we lower the volume, you can higher your height. Turn volume into growth.
I'm turning these down.
I am this
There.
close. This close.
Do it.
Do it.
I am gonna climb over this table and smack you upside the head.
Sure you can reach?
Do you need a step stool for that?
You look at the same
Do
time.
Hey, Katrina, want to switch seats
I
so
will
it'll be
smack
easier?
your head too.
Lucas, look at the difference.
Do it.
You're within arm's reach from her. I'm not.
Hey, Katrina. Katrina.
I'm willing to accept it.
Hey,
As long as
Katrina,
you get slapped
I got a
too.
plan for you. You slap Lucas, then I switch seats with you, and then you can be in arm's reach of Gage.
I was gonna say maybe you'd finally hit me in the podcast so we can finally keep up that promise since day one.
But it wouldn't be me, it would be Katrina.
Yeah, so then you'd be breaking the rule. It's like you have to hit me. No one can hit me but you. Not until the bet is done.
Do you think I care? I don't care.
I bet she hits me before episode 20.
Do it.
Just learn puppetry. Just do it.
Do it. Kill him.
I knew it.
Initiate order 66.
Execute order 66.
Should I do it? Do it.
The Game Grumps bit.
Yes.
I still need to make that edit. Alex just want me to make a Game Grumps edit where it's like, do it, and then Dan goes, okay.
Okay. Dude, Game Grumps is amazing. Listen.
Also, I know Alex doesn't care, but and Katrina might care a little. Lucas, are you a bit of a Star Wars fan at all?
A Star Wars fan?
Yeah.
Which stars?
Star Wars.
Stars.
As a kid, I was. Growing up later, just kind of lost interest in it.
Because something I figured we'd talk about, Star Wars Celebration was this weekend, and we got quite a few big things over the weekend from Celebration. I believe it ended yesterday, but I think from like Thursday to yesterday, we got a lot of big things. So I figured we'd talk about that a little bit. So we got more it opened at 3 a.m. like over here because this year's Celebration was in London. But the first thing we got was the trailer for the Ahsoka live-action series. Our first trailer that's coming out in August at some point. So that's something we can look forward to. I don't remember if it was yesterday or the day before, but we got our trailer for Season 2 of Star Wars Visions, which Season 1 was like the Star Wars like anime anthology. This time it is just a bunch of international studios. I think we still have like 1 or 2 anime studios, but then we have one from the people who made like Wallace and Gromit, Coraline, Paranorman, so like that kind of animation style. I believe it's specifically the people who made Wallace and Gromit, if you guys know what that is. But
Not really, but I love Coraline. That was a good movie.
There's like one stop motion one, but we still have a couple anime studios. I could be wrong. I think it's at least in the same style. There's one that's kind of like Into the Spider-Verse, a very like kind of 3D but also 2D comic bookish style.
Ooh, that sounds cool.
And we can keep talking about it. I might actually be able to hook it up to the monitor to play this time as well, because we have an actual computer to hook up to this kind of stuff now. But we had that. We had more about Jedi Survivor, the next Star Wars video game coming out in April or May. It's coming out real soon. And Visions is coming out on Star Wars Day this year. It's coming out on May 4th. So we have that. We got more talks about series like The Acolyte, the High Republic series. Start getting some shots of that. Have you guys seen Squid Game at all?
I have.
Oh my
No.
god.
The main character from Squid Game is in that show as a Jedi Master.
Dude,
I forget the actor's name.
I feel like my little sister would freak out and try to tell my
They,
dad.
they,
about
they announced
it
the
and
cast back when they announced the
watch
show like 2 or 3 years ago. But-
I don't have a working TV.
It's fine. On like the days I'm here, I could put on like Disney Plus and the Lab or something. In fact, I think our commentary this week, movie commentary, is going to be New Hope. We're going to start doing some Star Wars stuff.
Wasn't Squid Game was on Disney Plus.
What?
All I heard was some about Squid Game and some about Disney Plus.
Oh, the main actor for the main character from Squid Game, he's going to be in Star Wars: The Acolyte as a Jedi. What was what I was bringing up about that? Then we got Visions. We got Visions season 2. I'm trying to remember all the announcements. They did announce 3 more movies. No like trilogy or anything like that again, but they did announce 3 more movies. We're getting a Dawn of the Jedi movie, which is 25,000 years before the main saga. So we have the first Jedi and the founding of the Order, that Jedi's connection with the Force, all that. We're going to be getting a Rey Skywalker movie, set 15 years after Rise of Skywalker. It's going to be based on her rebuilding the Jedi Order. And I forget what the 3rd movie was. I know they announced 3. So hold on, let me just look up Star Wars Celebration announcements, because I know there's some stuff I'm forgetting.
Do you think they're making too many? Like they're not really focusing on.
Not at all. I don't think it's too much at all. In fact, something they did announce is season 2 of Bad Batch just ended. They announced that we are getting a 3rd and final season. So the next season of the Bad Batch we get will be our final one. So that's something else announced. So let me get to all of the announcements. Here we go. Let's see if I can get a list. Okay, so sorry, I'm trying to like get it in like a decent. Trying to read this. Okay, so the 3 movies we're getting was the Rey Skywalker movie, the Dawn of the Jedi movie, and then the 3rd movie announced was The Mandalorian kind of started this like small like little web of live action Star Wars shows. It's going to end in a movie directed by Dave Filoni, the person who's done like Clone Wars, Rebels, Mando, all that. So all of that is going to culminate in a movie. If I'd imagine it'd be called Heir to the Empire, because like what they're building up to is the character Thrawn like make his return, and Legends is based off the books, the Heir to the Empire trilogy, which kind of started that whole expanded universe thing. So I imagine we're building up to that. They actually referenced that in the Ahsoka trailer too. It's like he's coming back to be heir to the Empire, and I fanboyed. I like screamed. It's like, ah! But no, so we have those 3 movies. So we have the Rey Skywalker movie. Other films are actively being worked on. I believe this wasn't announced at Celebration, but they're having talks of the Lando Calrissian series, starting to go into like early pre-production, all that.
Mm-hmm.
The Lando series starring Don Glover, who played Lando in Solo. So we're gonna get a little serious with him. They announced that a while back, but there hasn't been much besides that initial announcement. So we're starting to get more about that. Let's see. Dave Filoni movie, the Ahsoka trailer, which I might actually play a couple of these trailers as well. I think I'll play at least the Visions trailer.
Ooh, sorry.
Oh yeah, my Thrawn will be. Have you seen Rebels at all, Lucas?
I have not.
None of you have you?
I'm not paying.
Seen what?
Star Wars Rebels. Katrina, have you seen Star Wars Rebels?
I don't remember names. I remember.
It was a show.
Oh no.
Well, Thrawn was originally in Rebels in terms of like canon stuff, and his voice actor is coming back to reprise him in live action.
Sorry.
Playing with my mouse, really? Go Google.
Oh, is that what they're calling it now?
I couldn't help myself. It was funny. I couldn't help myself. I'm sorry.
So, because most of you like wouldn't know, I don't think I'll play the Ahsoka trailer, but the Visions trailer. Visions, it was essentially just a bunch of non-canon.
Oh, this is so cool.
Visions was a bunch of non-canon stories that the anime studios just told, hey, go ham. And for the most part, they were pretty good. There were some episodes I didn't like. And maybe we'll do Visions even before we do any movies. That way, like Alex, you could be on for that. I know you're not like a massive Star Wars fan. Visions is just like watch. It's like Star Wars anime stuff, so you might be able to enjoy that a little bit more.
That's not my cup of tea. I probably wouldn't go to that, but other things probably.
But which we'll get to commentary. Oh, I want to talk about commentary stuff. I think we'll finish talking about this first.
Okay.
I think it was all the major announcements. There were like some panels and all that as well. But I think it was all the major announcements celebrations. So let me pull up the Visions trailer or something for us to watch real quick.
Okay.
Season 1 of Visions was real fun. I think out of the original season, I liked about half of it. Half, maybe a little bit more. I just rewatched it, and I started liking some episodes I didn't like as much the first time around. But it's like, there's some episodes that like kind of lean a little hard in the anime part, which isn't what I want with Star Wars. Which that's probably like hypocritical of me to say. It's like I love anime, I love Star Wars. I don't like them when it leans too heavy on the anime part in Star Wars. But for the most part, they were they're pretty good ones. But a lot of them were really short.
I love the side eye that you gave me when you said that.
It's like all the ones I liked were too short, and all the ones I hated were too long. It's like that's how I felt with a lot of those. So let me pull up the trailer.
Oh.
For the record, this is not my computer, so anything you see is not me.
Oh yeah, it's
What is
just
he
funny
hiding?
how the man gets
What is
wife's
he
best friend
hiding?
pregnant.
Lives to regret it.
Give me the normal trailer, please.
Cut to 3 minutes
Here
if
we
you
go.
don't want to see men have an existential crisis.
So let me pull it up. I can
What?
actually get it. If
Do a
you guys want me to, I can play the
screen
season 1 trailer as well.
Do a
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go back to play the season 1 as well.
I don't care. I just want to.
I could probably right back to the top. I hate this.
I just see this. That's cool.
So I'll just play the season 1 trailer then, and then we'll come back to the season 2 one because none of you have seen like Visions otherwise. Just give like an idea of like what you'd be expecting from this and then season 2. I'm not as excited about season 2 because there's like some like weird ones. I'm not.
Have you ever
liking.
off topic, but have you ever like drank a bunch of soda and then burped and you just feel like the carbonation like going through your nose?
Oh yeah, that's usually painful.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Even when it's like carbonated, that's what happens.
The internet in here sucks.
Not the most.
Welcome to the internet. Have a look around.
It isn't so much painful as it is weird.
Please stop.
I've just always found it painful.
Sorry.
It's more uncomfortable than it is painful.
Oh, that's the one I've seen. Is the
Yeah, I played this in the lab like the other week or something.
Yeah.
In the background.
I remember the samurai one. That was like
No, stop it.
long ago. Long ago.
Why is the internet so
ago.
slow?
It's like cut.
Long ago.
God.
Okay, thank God. Turn up closed captions too.
Oh, come on.
All right, so this was the Vision season 1 trailer. Just give you guys an idea.
Okay.
Rewind. Gee, I wonder what he's gonna say first. turn it down a little bit.
Whoa.
Oh, great. Quality goes down. Of course it does.
I don't care. This looks amazing.
720 my ass.
No, it was set to auto, so it probably dropped to 480.
But it said auto 720.
Oh, dude. Look at that.
Like, all this really hyped me up for Visions the first time around. I'm not sure how to feel the second time around, which we'll talk about once we see the other trailer. I feel like with this one, I feel like with this one, I felt more consistent because it's just all anime. Visions is like a lot of animation variety.
Oh my god.
You know what this animation reminds me of?
What?
Avatar. The Last Airbender.
Well, Avatar was anime inspired.
Yeah.
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah, it was anime inspired.
Yeah,
which,
but this
which,
animation style reminds me of
Well,
it.
it's 9 different studios. Each episode is a different animation studio.
Oh my god, that looks like
And Dave Filoni, who worked on Clone Wars Rebels, is basically one of the biggest names in Star Wars now. He started on Avatar.
Huh.
He started Avatar and King of the Hill.
Huh.
We need to do one of the watch series that we're gonna have to do.
I think we might do.
One of our commentaries has to be Avatar: The Last Airbender.
I'll think about it. I think next time we do Ruby, we'll also do Visions on the same day. We might just do. I think we could do all of Visions, maybe like half of Visions in a session.
Honestly, it's looking more like Kill la Kill now.
Yeah.
I believe one of the animation studios that did. I think that animation studio was the one who did Kill la Kill.
If you are listening to this podcast, please also listen to our movie commentary.
Oh yeah, which will on.
Listen to the movie
That's something I want to talk about here in a minute as well. But let me look up the animation studios for season 1 of Visions again, because there were 7 studios for 9 episodes. 2 studios got to do 2. I believe Trigger got to do 2, and I can't remember the other one that got to do 2. The Star Wars Visions season 1 animation studios.
Have any of y'all seen the Cyberpunk anime?
I just started. I'm 1 episode in,
No, I haven't.
which I know that's another Trigger one. Trigger animated that one. They also,
Yeah, I haven't watched it myself either.
they did Cyberpunk. They did Gurren Lagann, I believe. I think they did some stuff in this. I think the Trigger episodes in this are actually my favorite ones, aside from the one of theirs. I can actually find what I need. Animation studios. Okay, I think I have it pulled up. So. Okay, they're doing a singularly by episode. So for the first episode, it was animated by Kamikaze Doga, who are most known for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which I did not know that.
Still haven't watched any of that.
Neither did I. My brother was a big fan of it. So the second,
Bizarre
so the second episode, Tatooine Rhapsody, was animated by well, it's not telling me. It was done by Studio Colorido, who had done A Whisker Away, some Pokemon stuff. Trigger did episode 3. So I just talked about how Trigger did like Cyberpunk, Gurren Lagann, stuff like that. Episode 4, my favorite episode out of all of them, it was done by Kinma Citrus, who did Eureka 7 and Tokyo Magnitude and Made in Abyss. If you guys know those titles, I haven't seen any of those, but I know that like those are like very popular ones. Oh, they also did Rising of the Shield Hero.
Huh.
Well, was that one?
Interesting.
I still need to finish that series.
I haven't started, but I know it's like Reputation. I know a lot of people like it. So I didn't know it's the same studio. So, episode 5, Ninth Jedi, was done by Production IG, who did Ghost in the Shell, End of Evangelion, the movie. Or like their 2 big ones. T0B1 was done by Science Saru, who did Devilman, did an Adventure Time collaboration. Did a little bit of JoJo stuff, it seems. They did Astro Boy, which makes sense. This episode was like a very Astro Boy episode. It's like the plot of that one, T0B1, is like little droid becomes force sensitive. His father dies and becomes like a Jedi. I don't like the episode. I feel like it's very just Astro Boy and Star Wars. In fact, the T0B1 is set as Toby,
So
which is Astro Boy's real name.
every episode is effectively a different anime style.
Every episode is very different.
I'm not sure I'd be able to.
They're
Follow
they're one-off episodes, the one-off
Yeah.
anthology episodes. Except the first one, the first episode of the Duel got a book afterwards, which takes place after the episode. It starts in the episode and then goes through after. It's a pretty good book.
Huh.
As long as you're not associated with normal Star Wars canon.
I think there's a bug. I think there might be a fly
Alright,
in here.
the other trigger one.
It hit me in the nose.
The other trigger one was the 7th episode, The Elder. So we talk about Trigger. So they did Kill la Kill and all that. Episode 8 was done by Geno Studio, who did. They've just done a lot of anthology stuff. They did like Animatrix, that one, like anime anthology for Matrix, is like the main one they're bringing up. And the last episode was also done by Science Saru, who did like Devilman and all that. So 7 studios, the 2 of them got 2, and then I could probably pull up the ones for season 2, but let me pull up the season 2 trailer for you guys to like go through real quick as well. So the Visions season 2 trailer. It's freezing. Hold on. It's lagging. It's not loading right. Studio internet, everybody. This is how bad it is.
We need a cable.
Yay,
Yeah, we
loading
really
screen.
need an Ethernet cable.
I think it's switched to it. No. Unless you just refresh the page.
I don't want to press anything.
You must press the button, Gage.
Oh, I realized the problem. It was on Internet Explorer.
Press it.
Why is there still Internet Explorer on this laptop? Oh, and
Good question.
our YouTube is still open from last week when we were watching Ruby. That's great. We never closed this. We
Yeah.
never closed this.
Ruby.
Well.
When we watched the
Star Wars Ruby.
I'm,
No, that was Mega Man. Ruby.
because I remember
Oh, no,
I
not
can't
Mega
remember
Man.
I can't remember if we did it before or after we watched the normal trailers for Ruby. We watched the Justice League and Ruby trailer.
I think we watched that just before we started the normal Ruby trailers.
We watched the Justice League one before we watched the.
Did we do it
individual
while we were
trailers.
recording, or did you start before we recorded?
I think we did it while we were recording.
While we were recording.
Well, that explains why it was slow. The Chrome was not open. I pressed Chrome and it brings me to Internet Explorer. Why is that still installed on this laptop?
I have no
That's a
clue.
good question.
I never use Internet Explorer.
For
I
good
always
reason,
use-
clearly, because I go to Google Chrome, it runs like butter. And then go into Internet Explorer, we have to fight to get a full screen.
It's like frozen butter.
It's like straight ice.
Yeah.
Forget frozen butter, just ice.
Yeah, people keep on asking me, why do you use Chrome? Nobody uses Chrome.
Gee, I wonder why I use Chrome. Maybe because everything else
Gee.
sucks.
I wonder why.
Well, I used to
Maybe
use
because
Firefox,
the
but-
internet works a whole lot better on Chrome.
All right, now we can start the Visions Volume 2 trailer. Audio working with me, please? It is not playing audio.
Oh no.
This is great. We go to Chrome and it gives us a different kind of problem. That's up. Let me just press
What's
the-
up with that, Crumb? What are you doing?
Sorry, Luke.
No, you just sound like a Twitch streamer I know, Lextria. She's able to pull off that voice the exact same voice,
Oh.
but she's usually uses it for Ash Ketchum or her little imitation of it.
I'm Ash Ketchum from Palatown. I gotta catch 'em all.
Dear God, now Chrome's not working with us.
Oh no. Crumb.
Chrome, not Chrome.
Don't get it, Crumb. from
I'm
Fire
gonna
Emblem.
go insane.
Insane in the membrane.
Insane in the membrane.
Damn it, I think it was loaded too, and I just pressed refresh.
Insane.
I'm gonna go crazy. We could probably watch the Spider-Verse trailer too, because I don't think we talked about this last podcast. Blue Beetle and Spider-Verse trailers came out.
A little crazy.
Oh yeah, have any of y'all watched the Lackadaisy pilot?
Oh my
I have not,
God.
but I don't. If it's in the same style as Has Been a Hotel, I don't think we're gonna be able to like watch that.
It's
Well,
so
there's
good.
no death and gore in that one.
We definitely cannot do Has Been a Hotel. That is a no-no.
Well, it just sucks that they're changing up the entire animation style because apparently the people who took it over didn't like some of the voice casting. Didn't like some of the character designs.
I mean, I haven't seen Has Been Hotel or My Hell of a
Has Been
Boss. I remember I watched the teaser for Has Been Hotel like a year, the initial like teaser for like a year and a half before the actual show came out. I was like, I'm gonna watch this. It's been like 3 years since Has Been Hotel came out. Still haven't watched it.
Well, I'm not sure Has Been Hotel has an actual series out yet.
It doesn't. It's just a pilot. And then they did the Has Been Hotel pilot and then Hell of a Boss. They've been wanting to do a Has Been Hotel series. I actually followed the animator before she did the Has Been Hotel stuff. Back when she did just music videos and all that. Dear God, please. Oh my God, this is painful. Chrome, you're supposed to be better than this. Let's see if I can find a different posting of the trailer.
You're supposed to be the chosen one.
You're the chosen one. Now it works. Kill me.
We can't do that.
All right. Now here's the Visions Volume 2 trailer. Turn it down a little bit now.
I thought that was Gage sharply inhaling. I was like, what? Okay, anyways.
The logo changed from blue to red.
Of course it
Oh,
did.
he's pulling that lightsaber on the ground, but no mark left behind.
I think this is supposed to look like the Spider-Verse styled one, and like I was talking about.
That's actually a cool animation style.
Oh.
Yeah, but we got a couple of stop motion ones this volume. It's 9 more studios, so it's 1 episode per.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like this
I'm recognizing some of these animation styles.
Yeah, it's no longer just anime; it's fully international.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah.
This is the animation style I was talking about.
Dude, it's like the sheep.
That's the one. That's the one that put me off. I was like, I don't associate that with Star Wars, so I'm not interested.
Well, I also recognize one other one that it.
Yeah, like I feel like we still have like 2 anime episodes. We have a couple stop motion ones.
Most of them are stop motion. Why? Because stop motion is insane.
Like if I guess we have 2 stop motion ones, we have 2 anime ones, and the rest are just kind of cartoonish.
Yep.
That's the one that pushes me up the most is that claymation style from like the Wallace and Gromit people.
Really? May the 4th?
Yeah, it's coming on May 4th.
May the 4th be with you, Lucas.
I can
That
tell.
one.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know the art style. I can't place it.
Okay.
I don't think that comes from an actual animation studio. I think that comes from like a book studio.
I've seen other movies animated in that same style.
I recognize the style. I can't place it.
Yeah, I can't place it either.
So like very different from like volume of visual. We're getting like it looks like maybe 2-3 anime episodes still, which is fine with me.
I think that style is more just like drawn. Like
Yeah, this is like the art style you were pointing out was one I've seen in books. I can't place it in particular in my head right now, but I haven't seen actual animation. I don't believe.
you haven't? I've seen some.
Nothing that comes to mind. I know I recognize it from somewhere, but I cannot.
I've watched
actually,
Wolf Walkers. That's in that sort of.
I don't know what that is.
animation
Yeah,
style.
let me pull up the animation studios for Vision Season 2. So Star Wars Visions Season 2 Studio. The only one I recognized by like style was the claymation one from like Wallace and Gromit, which that's the one that put me off. I was like, I don't know. Here we go. Dates and studios revealed for Visions Volume 2. We get a list like we did last time. So I'm gonna read this as it goes off because I hadn't actually looked at all this yet. I just watched the trailer and that was it. So for the episode The Sith, it is Studio El Giri, and that's how you say it. What are the photos? They did Finding Nemo. Oh, they're a Pixar studio. They did a lot of animation for Pixar. So they're a subsidiary that works for other bigger animation studios. So they did work for Blue Sky Studios and Pixar. So they worked on Ice Age, Finding Nemo, Incredibles, Ratatouille, and WALL-E. And they did the Oscar-nominated short film La Luna. And they partnered with Guillermo del Toro to do Troll Hunters. So they've been around. They have some animation experience. So they're doing the Sith, which I think is that first one we saw, kind of like in the kind of Spider-Verse style.
Yeah.
Second is Screecher's Reach, done by Cartoon Saloon. They did Wolf Walkers.
Yeah, Yeah.
They did My Father's Dragon, Wolfwalker, Secret of the Kells, Song of the Sea, and The Breadwinner.
Yeah, I know Secret of the Kells and Wolfwalker. I've seen that. So yeah, I've seen
Those
that
are their
studio.
movies. The TV series they worked on are Puffin Rock, Dorg von Dongo, and Viking School. So I think, based on the titles from those, I think they're a European studio. Maybe a Scottish studio.
They
I
are.
think. Episode 3, In the Stars, done by Punk Robot. They did
They've got really good.
They did
animation.
Flipos, Molen, y Polita, so this is a Spanish studio. Soccer Girls, and a bunch of television spots. So they've done like smaller stuff. They're so. Episode I'm Your Mother, done by Aardman. They did this is the Wallace and Gromit studio. So they did Wallace and Gromit. They did Spirits Piano. Zbigniew's Cupboard. It's a Russian studio. Okay.
We should watch Wolfwalkers as one of our.
Now that I know what it is, maybe if I can find it. So Studio Mirror, Rising Star, Animation Studio. They did the Dota series on Netflix. And they did Lookism, whatever that is. So they at least did the big thing to their name.
I know Lookism.
I've seen like the Dota thing on Netflix. Like I've like glanced at it. I haven't actually watched it. Episode The Spy Dancer, done by Studio La Cachette. They've done Rabbit's Cat, Moon, Ernest and Celestine. They helped Genny Tartakovsky do Primal. Genny Tartakovsky did Samurai Jack, Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Lab, stuff like that. He actually did the 2003 Clone Wars series as well. Bandits of Golak is done by 88 Pictures. So looks like their main thing was a short called Sharkoa, which I don't know what that is, but they're focusing like ones have done like shorter style animation, so they have experience making like smaller stories to tell. So like tiny short films, like maybe half-hour episode things. The Pit Studio, it's 2 studios. It's Lucasfilm themselves, and then one called Dark Stagio. I think this is a anime studio. So, and they've done a lot of Star Wars stuff. So, they have a living of stuff doing Disney's Light and Magic, Mandalorian, Obi-Wan, Tales of the Jedi. So they've done a lot of Star Wars, and they've also done Storks, The Cleveland Show, and Avatar: The Last Airbender. So they're a subsidiary studio. That explains why they're under Lucasfilm. Owl Song, Studio Triggerfish. They've done Stickman, Revolting Rhymes, and Highway Rat. So I don't know any of those, but that's the last studio. That wasn't 9 already, was it? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, that is 9. All right. So a lot of those I didn't recognize. It seems that they're trying to go for like a wider variety of studios then. So I think that the anime ones, we might only have like 1 or 2 anime ones. I think one of them is the one that was under that Lucasfilm subsidiary. If they're doing like all those different like Star Wars projects and Avatar.
Yeah.
I think it might actually have been Dave Filoni's old studio then if they did Avatar, because when he worked in Nickelodeon, he was one of the main animators for Avatar before he got on to Clone Wars.
Yeah.
So yeah, Star Wars Visions. That's the thing we talk most about Celebration. This is what I get for being the only bigger Star Wars fan here, but that's not a problem. We have some different looks on that. And so what do you guys think of those? Having not seen Visions and now seeing both trailers and looking at
It's interesting.
They were good.
Visions was kind of an experiment project with like anime stuff because it was like the first anime on Disney Plus, and it looks like they're just starting to broaden the horizons, but which is a good thing. You don't want to only like make it like one side of the world. You let every part of the world kind of get in on animating it. So we're at least getting the second volume. I hope we get more. Visions Volume 1 is fun. I hope this one's the same.
I love the stop animation.
Yeah, I think we're getting 2 separate stop ones. One is the Wallace and Gromit one, and there's the other one with like the little girl with the dreadlocks.
Yeah.
I'm kind of 50-50 when it comes to the stop animation. So,
Why do you like stop motion?
because it's just visually weird for me to look at. It's hard for my brain to wrap around visually.
It can be a little weird. Also, I don't know if this counts as a Star Wars one. They also
I can only take so many of those types of content before I have to take a break.
I kind of get what you mean. Like, stop motion isn't for everybody. I accept that, but some of my favorite movies are still stop motion. Like Coraline is an amazing movie.
Yeah, Coraline is amazing.
And that's stop motion. I feel like all the ones from that particular studio after, I was a big fan of. Like Paranorman, I thought was kind of and then they gave us Box Trolls. Like, okay,
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Is that the same studio?
I have no idea. It just looks like
Isn't those, I feel like,
to me.
I feel like Nightmare Before Christmas is my favorite stop motion film. Coraline's good, but Nightmare Before Christmas is really, really good. But from that studio who did Coraline, they did Paranorman, which I thought was okay, and then they did Box Trolls. Like, okay, I'm done. I didn't watch Kubo and the Two Strings. I feel like that was one.
I want to watch that one.
We may watch it for commentary then. That was one I kind of wanted to watch, but it's from that studio where it's like, okay, their movies have progressively gotten worse. I'm going to step off from this one. So I didn't watch Kubo.
Ooh, remember Frankenweenie?
Oh, that one too.
Oh my god.
I forgot about that. I kind of blacked that one. Yeah, that's a really bad one.
The Corpse Bride.
Corpse Bride. It's been too long since I've seen Corpse Bride.
Apparently, if you
Corpse
look at
Bride
all
was
those,
a masterpiece.
if you look at like Frankenweenie and the other series like Nightmare Before Christmas, it honestly looks very similar to like each one being a short story in Jack's life.
Yeah, people made that theory. It's like Jack Skellington's life starts in Frankenweenie, goes to Corpse Bride, and ends in Nightmare Before Christmas. Everyone's like making that like tinfoil hat theory. I'm like, no.
Honestly, it doesn't seem like it'd be wrong.
I get where people think it, but no.
I mean, the dog starts off as a zombie, then it becomes a skeleton, and now it's a ghost.
Well, these are probably the same people who make connections between the different stories of the Disney princesses. Like,
I can actually understand the Disney one. Like, there's a lot of evidence for like the Disney like multiverse theory or whatever. I can kind of buy that one, but the ones like saying, oh, Jack Skellington is the same dude from Corpse Bride and Frankenweenie. These are the same kind of people who think Kevin from Home Alone is Jigsaw and Saw. Like, people legitimately thought that.
Game.
People legitimately thought that. Do you want to play a game?
Well, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure the actor who played Kevin in Home Alone actually did a little skit with a Jigsaw mask.
Macaulay Culkin did like a Jigsaw skit because he loved the theory. I actually just saw his brother in Scott Pilgrim. I just watched Scott Pilgrim, and Macaulay Culkin's brother was playing like Scott's gay roommate. I forget his name. It's like Walt something, I think. At first I saw it, I was like, is that Macaulay Culkin? And then no, it was his brother. It's actually something else to talk about. I kind of want to play another couple trailers before we start talking about the commentary stuff, but another thing they announced was these. They're going to do a Scott Pilgrim anime series on Netflix with the original cast of the movie.
Yeah, I'd heard about that, but a lot of people are iffy, or from what people.
I'm kind of iffy anyway. Like, everyone hyped up the movie, and I thought it was just eh. It was kind of like weirdly paced because they based it off. I don't know if they based it off more of the comic or the game. It was a weirdly paced movie. Some of the part of it was kind of hard to watch.
Yeah, from what I've heard, they're just rehashing the live-action movie into an animated version using the exact
Which isn't a
same
bad
cast.
thing. If they're doing a series, it gives them more time to kind of like flesh things out a bit more.
Oh, I thought it was just like they were doing an animated movie, not an actual series.
I believe it's an anime series with the cast of live-action movie, which I didn't know some of the castings in that movie either. Like, like Chris Evans as like the movie star ex-boyfriend, or Brandon Ruth as like the vegan.
Oh my god.
And then I go back and look at the comic because I haven't read the comic. That's a screenshot of the comic. I'm like, damn, that dude really does look like Brandon Ruth. It's like I looked at it, I was like, wow, that's actually really good casting. That's pretty much Brandon Ruth right there in like a cartoony form. I was like, that works.
Honestly, the first time I heard of Scott Pilgrim was when the game first came out.
I kind of heard it off and on throughout my entire life, and then I started getting more curious about it. So I own the game on Xbox and Switch. So I started playing through the game, and then I've watched the movie. Now I just need to read the comic book. So they announced that as well. And then what that reminded me of is they're also going to be rebooting Harry Potter here soon. Which I thought it'd be something they would never do. Harry Potter's one of those franchises, kind of like Star Wars or Lord of the Rings, where it's like, you don't touch it. Unfortunately, Amazon ruined Lord of the Rings because Rings of Power.
Well.
Burn. But they're changing it into a TV series, and each season is going to be a year at Hogwarts. Which I feel like gives them more time to do with like more stuff in the book, but I feel like the movies are fine. You don't need to mess with the movies.
Well, were they going to make it an animated or a live action?
It's live action.
series?
I believe it's a live action reboot series.
Oh, God.
And each season is going to be based off a book.
So they're going to be redoing Harry Potter, or they're going to
They're
find...
redoing Harry Potter. They're rebooting.
I wasn't sure if they were going to find...
It's like they'd rather do that instead of give us a movie or TV show based off Cursed Child.
If I can interject here, need
Please
I
do.
remind you that every well, almost every reboot of a kid's cartoon or any kind of movie that used to be old and they try to do it new, they ruined it.
Not necessarily, not everyone.
That's why I said almost. That's why I
They've been
corrected
doing
myself.
live-action remakes for a while, and
Disney's the main culprit.
And
Yep.
seeing how many of them have failed miserably, why would you want to continue down this road?
That's not to say they've all been bad,
For
though.
money purposes, dude. I don't know.
Like, I don't know if it counts, but like the new Mortal Kombat movie, I
Yes,
guess
but
more based
the
off the games than the old
risks-
movies, but
The risks outweigh the potential pros.
That's probably because they have all
that's
these.
why it's more impressive when they pull it off, though.
Exactly.
They got all these new
High
people
risk,
that are
high
trying
reward, my
to,
dude.
I guess, respect the wishes of everyone out there and try to make their characters
Yeah,
as
it's-
open
But
and
here's
diverse
the-
as they can without actually following how the series actually was.
Here's the issue with that. People already have a vision of what Harry Potter looks like as live action because of the original Harry Potter series. So now you're going to have to find somebody who can act just as good, if not better, than the people who have already done it.
Danielle Radcliffe.
As I mean, Daniel Radcliffe is a Harry Potter, but I'm also going to counter you saying here. I'm not going to say. I'm going to say this. Daniel Radcliffe is not the best actor in the world. He as Harry, he was pretty good. I'm not going to act like he was perfect. Whenever I see Daniel Radcliffe, I associate him with Harry Potter. He is an iconic Harry Potter. I'm not going to disagree with you there. That's also like saying Tobey Maguire or Spider-Man. Yes, he's iconic.
Okay,
But if you look back at it, he wasn't an amazing
Snape.
actor.
Snape,
My name's Snake.
Oh yeah, that's not happening.
McGonagall,
Okay, I'll bring this up.
Hagrid.
Yes, I'll bring this up in our Harry Potter because there will be Harry Potter commentaries. I'll bring this up in our Harry Potter commentaries too. When they were doing the movies, J.K. Rowling had 3 castings she insisted on: Maggie Smith as McGonagall, Robbie Coltrane as Hagrid, and Alan Rickman as Snape.
Yes.
Yes, we might get some better actors for other characters. No one's topping Alan Rickman as Snape. I will say that. Alan Rickman was the Snape.
And Hermione.
I feel like you can always like do good with other characters, but you bring up Snape. Yeah, no one's gonna get a better Snape. I don't think anyone's gonna get a better Hagrid either.
So they are keeping the characters.
Hagrid, nobody's gonna ever get to the quality.
Some
of the
performances
previous
we might get some better performances of others. Like I'm not saying like almost every character in Harry Potter was cast perfectly. Almost.
Dumbledore.
First or second time. We're talking Richard Harris or the dude after.
The one, obviously the original one, not the.
I liked Michael Gambon as Dumbledore. Richard Harris is the first one. Michael Gambon came after, but I liked Michael Gambon as Dumbledore more than I liked Richard Harris. And I'm not gonna like there are scenes where it wasn't wrong. Like Michael Gambon didn't want to read the source material. It's like in Goblet of Fire when it's like, did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire? And the book says Dumbledore calmly says, Harry, did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire? Movie. Dumbledore comes stomping down the stairs. Harry, did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire?
Yes. Yes, they
Actually-
definitely took some liberties with that.
Do we have a
Me and my
trailer
mom
for
would do, I
this
swear.
new Harry Potter series coming
It's
out?
an
yet?
announcement. It's an announcement.
Because the entire thing about Dumbledore is that
He's very
in the series, he's very in control.
until you get to Half-Blood Prince, he is perfectly in control.
Yes.
Well, here's a question since we're talking about Harry Potter. How many of you have tried the Legacy game?
I haven't played it yet.
No, I haven't. I haven't bought it.
I've heard mixed things.
Well, apparently, when you get to the Sorting Hat, apparently there's a very small chance that the Sorting Hat will tell you to go to Azkaban.
Really?
Yeah. Literally, you're being sent off to prison by the Sorting Hat.
Oh
That's
my
funny.
God.
That is funny.
And it's actually possible to happen.
I just imagine
That
like
is
the hats
so
on his
funny.
head.
What
He's
do
like,
you have to do to get sorted into
Wait,
Azkaban?
It's just like,
better be Azkaban with him.
you must go to prison.
Well, more
Holy
likely,
crap, this child's mind.
well, it could
Send
be.
them to Azkaban, please.
It could be you go around attacking innocent people before you even get to Hogwarts, and that could be how that happens.
It's like damn, Sony didn't do that when Tom Riddle walked in the door. You didn't do that before Tom Riddle came in, turned into Voldemort, and started framing Hagrid for the Chamber of Secrets crap, or murdered Harry's parents, or killed Neville's parents like the day before too.
Well, to be fair, he probably wasn't. He wasn't at that level of.
Voldemort was born evil.
evilness.
The entire point of Voldemort is that he was born evilly. He was born. I forgot the exact phrasing, but it's like he was born from a love potion, and that like made him like he cannot feel love, and thus he is dark and evil. He was born that way. So if that was the case, and that thing is real, I think it's meant as a gag in the game. Don't get me wrong. I think that's just a gag that the developers had fun with. If we take that with a grain of salt now and apply that to real Harry Potter canon, why didn't you kick Tom Riddle out the door immediately after? It's like clearly he was not going to do anything good. Ask Fred Weasley, or Lupin, or anybody else who died in Deathly Hallows, or Cedric.
Weasley.
Well, essentially it's like this. The Lord Voldemort is basically a sociopath.
Yes, he is.
So, essentially, he may not have been as bad when he was a child, but it grew worse as he got older.
Yeah, it absolutely got worse. First of all, he can't feel love in the first place. He grew up in an orphanage until Dumbledore brought him in, and then he wasn't given limits because Dumbledore was like being soft with him. Like,
yeah, if you think about it that way, you can't just throw a child in Azkaban just because they can't feel a certain emotion.
It's like if you look at it in like Chamber of Secrets, yeah, you can tell he's evil, and that he didn't have limits. But then you go to like Half-Blood Prince with Slughorn, and you see the flashbacks with him.
Yeah,
it's like Professor Slughorn. Have you heard of a Horcrux? Like that entire scene. It's like he's clearly been planning stuff his entire time at Hogwarts.
His entire time in Hogwarts, exactly. He didn't know anything that.
And Dumbledore didn't give him limits. He
didn't start his plan until after he started attending Hogwarts.
And Dumbledore didn't give him any restrictions. It's like back in Half-Blood Prince where he brings the Horcrux sign, and Slughorn's like, "Why did you hear that?" "Well, I read it, sir, in the restricted section." It's like clearly he was allowed in there.
Yeah,
when students are not allowed in there.
Because he probably got permission because he's a genius child or whatever.
He was Dumbledore's favorite child.
Genius.
And we went on a tangent there. But I brought up the TV series. We were
Harry
looking long
Potter. Let's agree that Harry Potter is another one of those topics.
I desire tangents.
And we could probably save some of this for the commentaries too, because I have movies installed. There will be Harry Potter commentaries.
Harry Potter is another one of those topics that, if it's brought up, will be devolved into a tangent.
Yeah.
It will, but
Before it won't be a part of.
speaking of commentaries, before we get to talk about like our extra comment, I think this will close the podcast off on today as our commentary stuff. But I don't know how big of like comic book fans you guys are either. I know Alex is like a massive fan. What about you two?
Sonic comic books.
I am not a huge comic book fan. I used to be into it, but then I sort of fell into like the anime spiral.
I just asked I just asked for a couple more trailers. But what about you, Lucas?
I didn't really have much of a chance to read comic books growing
Well, just
up.
comic book stuff in general. I don't mean like just straight up comic books, like when it comes to like movies, games, shows, stuff like that.
Never really had much of a thought. I mean,
Because I figured we could play 2 more trailers before we move on to our commentary talk. So, a couple more trailers come out, and we'll only be watching ones for Blue Beetle, which is a DC movie, and Into Spider-Verse, which is or Across the Spider-Verse, which is a sequel to In the Spider-Verse.
there's Blue Beetle.
New stuff like that. They also dropped trailers for stuff like Marvel Secret Invasion, which I won't play because since I don't think everyone here is caught up with MCU stuff. And then they also dropped a new Indiana Jones trailer, but I don't know if anyone here watches Indiana Jones.
I do.
I've watched some of them.
I'm not a big fan, so I don't really care as much, but
I love Indiana Jones.
yeah, there's a new Dial Destiny trailer. I feel like we'll save that for another day.
Yeah, my favorite scene in that trailer.
The new,
I'm her godfather.
yeah.
I'm a godfather.
The new trailer is underwhelming. Well, I feel like the first one for like kind of harked back to like old Indiana Jones.
I'm your godfather.
The new trailer didn't do like much for me. But I think we'll do the Blue Beetle and the Across the Spider-Verse trailers, and then we'll move on to our commentaries. So here is the Blue Beetle trailer.
What you mean?
Oh, he looks good.
He was in Cobra Kai. I forget the actor's name, but
Hello, nurse.
I like this casting for Blue Beetle as well.
He looks so good. Look at him.
He's a good-looking dude.
He's a great looking dude.
I'm excited for this movie.
Big Bella Burger.
Yeah, that's from the Arrowverse shows. The main restaurant in those shows was Big Bill Burger.
Nah. Oh, that looks horrifying. I think it likes me. Jumps on his face.
Get it? That's George Lopez is playing his dad too.
George Lopez. Dude.
The costume looks amazing. It's almost all.
He's just went through the roof!
You notice the base of the costume is all practical too.
That looks awesome, dude.
The base, I don't think the scarab is, but the base costume is all practical.
Oh, he's going down.
He's turning into a meteor.
This is soon too.
Oh my god. He just broke the base.
He's cutting the bus.
This dude just broke the bus in half.
God, the movie looks so good.
The music is vibing though, dude. Oh my god.
This origin story actually reminds me of another movie that I've watched.
Yeah. In the comics, I believe he's supposed to be the third Blue Beetle, but I think in the movies they're gonna be the first proper one.
Oh, because because it's like the first actual movie regarding the Blue Beetle.
I
Movies,
love
yes,
that sword.
Yeah, it's very Power Ranger. He did like Power Rangers move too.
Look at the Ranger.
Oh, all right, hold on. Batman's a fascist.
Well, have any of y'all seen the new Power Rangers movie?
The trailer for that, we can play that trailer too if you want. But yeah, I love that what DC's doing now with James Gunn helping DC. This is supposed to be the first proper film of James Gunn's DCU, and they're choosing a hell of a way to start it. I don't know how they're gonna like cement stuff. I guess we'll find out after Flash comes out, because the way they're doing it is they're pretty much axing off everything that started with Zack Snyder and Man of Steel. So the last proper movie of the Snyderverse stuff will be Flash, and it's supposed to like reboot everything. In a way, I don't know how the next Aquaman movie is supposed to play in there, because Jason Momoa is supposed to not be playing Aquaman anymore. He's supposed to be playing a character called Lobo. Which for comic fans, we know that like that's a pretty good casting. But if he's already Aquaman and this is coming, and Aquaman's coming after this, how is that going to work?
I don't know.
But this is the first film of the new DCU. I think the casting is great. I haven't watched Cobra Kai, so I don't know the dude's work.
I thought Jason Momoa was perfect for Aquaman.
I initially was skeptical because my Aquaman was, blonde hair, blue eyes, Atlantic King. But I like Jason Momoa's Aquaman. He's very different Aquaman.
Yeah.
I feel like the Aquaman movie too. I've always preferred DC over Marvel, and you can tell that when it comes to like when DC does their movies right, they hit home. If DC did every movie right, they could blow Marvel out of the water even at their prime. It's like Wonder Woman made more than Deadpool 1. Aquaman made about just as much. So when they do it right, they can do it right. And then the original Joss Whedon's Justice League movie I thought was okay, but Zack Snyder's Justice League was great. I wish we still had Zack Snyder to do his movies. But nothing we can do to change it now, but I feel like this is a great way to start it. I like the casting. I hadn't seen Cobra Kai, so I don't know the dude's work, but he looks like a great Jaime Reyes. He's pretty much straight from the comics. He hasn't been in a movie before. This is his first live-action movie appearance. It is not his first live-action appearance, because he showed up in Smallville, and he looked horrible.
Oh my.
And he's been in a bunch of animated stuff
So
as
what
well.
if I take this off?
But he's been in
It's
a
more of a spit guard.
he's been in a bunch of animated stuff. In
Spit
fact,
cover.
he was a major part of.
Okay, I see.
And so you can't deep throat the mic.
But Blue Beetle was a major part of Young Justice Season 2. Was like his big thing. He's been in a bunch of animated stuff before. Let me pull up Blue Beetle and Smallville for you.
Yeah, I know about Blue Beetle being part of Young Justice.
A big part of Season 2 was like Blue Beetle stuff. And I've known about the character longer than that. But he's been big in animation. He was big in Injustice 2 as well. The game. But his first live action appearance. Actually, we're getting another movie for a character called Booster Gold as well, who's like a very underrated DC character in my opinion.
Yeah,
And both of them were here. Them in the comics. versus both Booster Gold and Blue Beetle in Smallville. I'll show you in a second as well, Alex.
Okay.
Katrina? So the costume isn't bad, but it's very like 2008.
Let me see
Yeah.
the comparison.
That's Blue Beetle and Booster Gold in Smallville.
Whoa.
So the costumes aren't bad,
They're not
but
bad.
it's very much 2008 CW budget.
They're not like modernized or like up to date.
It's like, actually, let me find a closer up of Blue Beetle.
It's
Look,
like-
look how bulky the Blue Beetle is in Smallville. Bulky Blue Beetle in Smallville.
Dude, that's amazing.
So it's very like more really form fitting, but this is also 2023 compared to like, I haven't watched all Smallville, so I don't know when he popped up. It had to have been late because it looked like Metropolis. Like later seasons of Smallville went to Metropolis, so I had some like seasons 8 to 10, so like very late in the lifespan, so like 2009 to 2012. Like right before the Arrowverse stuff started, Smallville ended.
I'm kind of curious what they'd have to do a DC Marvel crossover movie.
That is also in talks. James, because like those are actual comics, the Marvel DC crossovers. They're also called Access, and those comics are technically canon to both comic universes. But James Gunn has said he has talked to Marvel about down the line, way down the line, doing a Marvel DC crossover movie. But he's saying, you know, I still have to get this DC back on its feet, and maybe down the line when we have a larger cast of characters, we could do a big screen Marvel DC crossover. Which I feel like they're missing some of the core players on Marvel now, because like Steve Rogers is gone, Iron Man's gone, stuff like that. I feel like they missed their prime for the Marvel side of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've read the Marvel DC crossover comics. They did like normal crossovers, and then they had a joint company made to do amalgam comics. So it's like this alternate universe where like they would combine a Marvel character, DC character, and make a new superhero out of it. So like Superman and Captain America was called Super Soldier. Batman Wolverine was called Dark Claw. Doctor Strange, Dr. Fate was Strange Fate, which was like the big bad of the amalgam stuff. Stuff like that.
I'm Batman.
But that's also.
Oh, man.
But I'm excited for this movie. The effects look good. I see the cost practical. I know it's practical because I saw screenshots from when they were filming, and I don't know if the Scarab is CGI or practical, but the base suit, even the mask, the base of it is all practical. There's CGI edits for like the eye movement and like the Scarab transformation stuff.
That's what I love to see in a superhero. Forget all this stuff that has no function whatsoever other than visual pleasing.
Yeah.
Cosmetics.
Yeah.
Look at Marvel, like from like Civil War to Endgame. Almost all their costumes were CGI. They're all wearing mocap suits.
Yeah.
Marvel's starting to get back to the practical stuff now, but almost all their costumes were CGI, nanotech stuff.
Yeah. But I feel like that you have to deal with a little bit of CGI whenever you're getting into like futuristic.
Well, I know there's like a little CGI too, but as long as like the base is practically have something to go off of, like Spider-Man's costume has not been practical since Spider-Man Homecoming. For example, like that's one that hasn't been.
Yeah, I kind of didn't get why they made his costume like that.
And even in No Way Home, like the final swing shot, I don't know if that I don't think that costume was practical. I think it was an all CG shot just to show off the new suit for Spider-Man No Way Home. But the base of this suit is practical. I didn't recognize him at first, but apparently George Lopez is playing Jaime Reyes' dad. It's like I've seen George Lopez, but that show is also like 30 years old, so I didn't know what he looked like now.
Yeah, but you know what gets me is how often they make superheroes' suits expose skin. If you're going to be fighting bad guys, you need to protect yourself.
Protect yourself.
Why are you giving yourself an obvious weak spot for the enemy to target?
Stop doing all this dang cosmetic fancy stuff and just go back to protecting yourself.
What happened to good old plate mail?
Wait, what is that?
Plate mail.
What's plate mail?
Armor.
Oh. Sorry.
So I think it's also about Blue Beetle. I do like how at the end of these trailers now, like James Gunn is very much like encouraging read the comics for watching our movies. In fact, when they made that big DC slate announcing like what their phase 1 will be for movies and shows and all that, almost all the comics related to those projects sold out. As I remember, one of them is Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. That particular graphic novel immediately sold out everywhere. So I'm glad people are getting excited for the DC stuff, and now even the trailers are advertising, hey, read where some of this stuff started. Like, this is stuff you could read to know the character. I like how they're encouraging that. So I don't think we'll actually get to talk about commentaries today, but we do have one more trailer to go over. It is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Okay.
I'm trying to get there. So have you guys seen the first? Have you guys seen the first Spider-Verse movie?
Yes.
Nope.
You have not? Oh, that's in the pipeline, but you've seen it.
It was epic.
It was an amazing movie. So
Anime.
I actually don't know if we should
Spider pork.
Spider-Ham.
Spider-Ham.
Voiced by John Mulaney, by the way. That was an amazing voice. I
Peter
love John
Porker.
Mulaney. Peter Porker.
That's what it was. Peter Porker. Oh my God,
That was
I love
great.
Peter Porker.
We need to watch that movie then. I don't know how much we should probably show of this trailer then. I don't think it gives too much away.
I've never been.
Yeah,
I don't really
watched,
care much for spoilers.
I've seen all of those trailers.
I want to see the trailer.
That'll be a movie we get in the pipeline then.
Show
But I feel like fine. We'll still watch the trailer.
Sorry.
Go for it.
I can't help it. I'm excited.
Oh, it's doing this shit. It is like the promo shit for some of these trailers. Here we go.
Woo!
Why is it subtitled? It's not one I could turn off either. Spider-Man.
Yes. Oh my God, this is so cool.
Spider-Man 2099.
Dude. Who's dead?
No Way Home.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, it's a baby. So
Spider
cute.
baby.
Spider baby.
Also, Spider-Man 29, voiced by Oscar Isaac. So this makes 3 Marvel roles he's had.
Dude.
He was Apocalypse and X-Men Apocalypse. He was Moon Knight, and now he's Spider-Man 2099. I love how they're reusing the "What's a Danger" song too.
He's like, screw this.
I can't wait to see this.
He's trying to break the trend. Do it.
Ah, Spider-Man 29 looks so good. Let's go, Spider.
Spider.
They're all doing the meme.
Also, in that shot,
Oh my God, that's
someone
the
pointed
best.
out. Someone pointed out in that shot, you can see like 3 different versions of Spider-Man PS4.
Dude, the very second I'm in a movie theater or wherever I am, the
And
second
then
see
I
that
looked
meme,
at my uncle, and let me guess.
He died. Yeah,
everyone goes crashing and like,
yeah. It's a fun show, and for like comic fans, there's a few more things to notice out. Like in that shot where everyone's pointing, you see like 3 different versions of Spider-Man PS4. Right before it does the point shot, you see Scarlet Spider, who in the comics is a clone of Peter Parker named Ben Reilly,
Spider.
who has never been brought in live
Spider
action, which annoys me.
It's like a tiny spider with a clipboard. It's like,
And how does that make you feel?
And so I don't think anyone's noticed like any of the Spider people from like the last movie yet. Like no one's seen like Spider-Man Noir, or Spider-Ham, anything like that.
Where's the anime girl from the Spider movie? That was so cool.
Penny Parker.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's seen like any of those characters coming back for this movie yet. But there's still like a bunch of other Spider-Man you see in the background. Like the main one in the point shot, you have like the Spider-Man PS4 one, you have another Spider-Man. In the middle is the one from Spider-Man Unlimited. I don't know if anyone remembers that Spider-Man cartoon at all.
Somewhat.
It's like when he gets transferred. It's basically a substitute for Spider-Man 2099. It was like Peter Parker just moved to the future or whatever. I haven't seen it, but let's talk about how. Do you guys ever watch Spectacular Spider-Man? The one from like 2008 to 2010.
No.
No.
And some of the promotion posters he's shown in it, and everyone was like, "Yeah, so is he gonna be in it?" And everyone was like, "Yeah." It's like that's an amazing Spider-Man cartoon. So I'm glad to have like Josh Keaton back, and it was like a cameo thing. There are also rumors of the 3 main live-action ones appearing. So Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland. There are rumors. Some fans even do like concept art in the art style, and it looks good. So yeah, Spider-Verse. I'm really excited for it.
Spider.
I hope to get to see that because I didn't get to see the first one in theaters. It was another movie where I had to wait till it came in red box for me to watch it.
It's Man Spider.
Man, the human. I remember the first movie. He goes like, "Call me the human spider," And then he goes out in the wrestling ring and goes, the Amazing Spider-Man. And Toby's like, that's not the name. And he has Macho Man Randy Savage coming at him, and he's still too worried about going down. It's like, that's not the name. I got you 3 minutes. 3 minutes of playtime.
3 minutes of playtime. Meet me at the playground.
That scene is so funny to me. That this Macho Man Randy Savage ready to kick Spider-Man's ass.
Man, Spider.
I feel like this show does a good job of like showing you like a lot, but still not showing you everything whatsoever.
Absolutely.
It's like you still don't know. You kind of get a general idea. It's like Miles is like going against Miguel O'Hara. Like Miguel's kind of like the villain in a way, but for like a good reason.
His inevitable fate.
I did not expect the reference to No Way Home because this is Sony, not necessarily Marvel, and Sony just likes to disconnect their stuff from Marvel. But I like the reference, like saying, and because in that movie they're like, everyone will forget that this Peter Parker is Spider-Man, so that's why Miguel O'Hara doesn't say that Peter Parker. He says that little nerd on Earth 199999 because he doesn't know it's Peter Parker.
1999.
It's like the reason that those villains came to New York, came to that New York in the first place is because they're brought because everyone who knows Peter Parker is Spider-Man, and so Doctor Strange set a spell in this multiverse that no one in the multiverse would know that this Peter Parker is this Spider-Man, and so he doesn't call him Peter Parker. And so it's just a way of saying, like Tom Holland's like one of the younger ones, so it's like, that little nerd.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm excited for the movie. Not any other trailers to watch, so I think we can take a few minutes to talk about how now here's we have a few recordings going, and we'll be recording more this week. Mainly our podcast crew. We're hoping to get more people on. We are doing movie and show commentaries now. Alex hasn't been here for one yet, but Lucas and Katrina have.
I've
It's
been
the quality
in every
that counts.
one of them so far.
Us three, and also all three of them have been things that you never saw before.
Yeah.
You and Lucas both hadn't seen Sonic. It'll turn off on its own. And then you had not seen Mario or Ruby yet.
It's the quality of what I'm in that counts.
And down the line, like we'll get to a point in Ruby where Lucas hasn't seen it yet either.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you've only seen.
Be sure to keep an eye out for it because I managed to piss off Gabe by predicting what's going on in the Ruby series.
Were you right?
She's getting paired with Wyatt says that she shut up.
And then she's right every time, and you're just like, stop ruining it.
I probably shouldn't.
Kinda.
I probably shouldn't have yelled that loud.
Yes.
But
Yes.
Someone's gonna come in.
there was that. What else did you predict? I can't remember. It was that and something else.
Pyrrha, this isn't the relic.
Pyrrha, this isn't the relic. It's not. It's not.
I said that Ren wasn't gonna get away from
Nora.
You
You kind of expect that. They're shown together the entire time. That's not that hard to figure out.
Yeah, but what else did I say?
I think that was it for predictions, but then you get like,
You said something about like.
I know that you predicted. I wasn't annoyed by the length. Like the length of the recording is 2.5 hours. I'm not annoyed by that at all. In fact, I would have done more if we had time, but that was the dance.
I think there was something else that I predicted. It was the fact that I predicted something and then I predicted something else on top of that.
You can't just sit down and enjoy the show. Which is why I'm glad when we get to like volume.
Everyone, now, Gage, everyone enjoys stuff in their own different way.
Which is why I'm glad once we get to like volume 4, it's almost very unpredictable, so you're not able to predict much.
You'd be surprised.
I also love how that day we will watch like the list like.
Careful what you say. I may take it as a challenge.
I also love how that day we watched like those first episodes of Ruby, which is like very like upbeat kind of let's fight the bad guys, kind of let's train to be huntsmen and huntresses, like that kind of thing.
Huntsman.
And the next day the new episode for Volume 9 came out, and it was like one of the darkest things I've seen in the entire show. I'm like, okay, that's a very stark contrast. It's like there was a lot of messed up stuff in the new episode of Ruby.
Like the first episode of Goblin Slayer.
I haven't seen Goblin Slayer.
Apparently, the first episode is really messed up.
Volume 9 has kind of been a roller coaster so far.
Oh no, I know what you're talking about.
Volume 9.
I've actually never seen the show myself, so.
I saw the first episode.
Volume 9 of Ruby has been a roller coaster. I feel like it was much better than I was not a massive fan. Volume 8 had like 2 or 3 good scenes out of like 12 episodes, and like, well, a lot of that was a waste of time.
You also get to listen to me cringe at the quality of the animation at the start.
It gets better. Hell,
Yeah.
it gets better the next season.
Yeah, season 2
Oh
a
my
lot
God,
smoother
it's
animation.
Season 2 and 3 is better, and then Volume 4 just straight up uses better, different animation program, so it looks better. It's called having budget, going from a web series to, I don't know, a Crunchyroll owned series apparently, because it's only.
Oh my God.
Volume 9 isn't even on Rooster Teeth. It's on Crunchyroll and only Crunchyroll, and I don't know why.
Not on
Because
Netflix?
Ruby's owned by Warner Brothers now. Warner Brothers absorbed Rooster Teeth. That's why Ruby can do.
I was not aware of that.
Warner Brothers just like open
Because
your
like,
teeth
that's why
and just consume
Ruby can do all the
Rooster
DC crossovers it does.
Ah.
That's what made the Ruby initially DC. They absorbed Ruby. Then there's just a Ruby comic under the brand of DC, like it was just a Ruby thing. And then they did the Ruby Justice League thing. And now they're doing another Ruby DC thing, and now we're getting the Ruby Justice League movies.
My brain is hurting so bad. Oh my God.
It was absorbed by Warner Media.
Ah.
Animating those movies is what made Volume 9 take so long to come out.
Oh my God.
I love when we start talking about commentaries, we immediately got into a thing about Ruby.
I mean, didn't you guys say that you literally
Oh, and
watched
you
it
also
for like a
get
few
to
hours?
listen to Gage be in pain through Mario, through the part.
Oh, dear,
Mario.
yeah. Mario.
Oh my God, I'm so excited for that one.
I've explained before. I explained in the commentary, which you'll probably end up seeing before this podcast. I explained in the commentary that had I just been like watching it, I probably would have enjoyed it because it's one of those movies I think is so bad it's good. I can enjoy watching it. But because I have to like constructively speak and analyze it as we watch it, I'm like, I'm having a miserable time. I can plug that in and go watch it at home tonight and watch it by myself and just enjoy it because it's a bad movie I can sit down and watch and enjoy. But because we watch it in an analytical way, I felt miserable. Pretty much everything after the jail scene. Because I think the jail scene's funny. Where it's like, what's your name? Mario. Last name Mario. All right, then what's your name? Luigi. I was like, oh, so it's Luigi? No, Luigi Mario. We're the Mario brothers. I love that scene. I don't care what it says. I love that scene. But then we get
That's a good one.
But then we get to stuff like the car chase, the strip club or the dance club, whatever the hell that's supposed to be, with Big Bertha in the crystal and her massive tits.
That's Big Bertha for you.
Then we get to like the final fight scene. It's the same set from like the scene when they get there. So they're constantly merging back and forth. Apparently, we missed this. I don't know if it was missing from our cut the movie, Katrina. I was talking to Lucas about this. I don't know if it's missing from our cut the movie or we were just too distracted laughing and talking crap out of the movie to notice it. They destroyed the Twin Towers in that scene in 1993, 10 years ahead of its time, by the way.
Oh yeah, I noticed that.
We didn't. We were too busy like laughing and joking about, but I didn't notice.
Oh my God.
I think I missed that.
Yeah, we missed that. You and I
What?
missed that. And I didn't notice it because I talked about how on the same day a YouTube channel I watched named Razzle did their they posted their Mario commentary 5 minutes before we started recording ours.
And they noticed it? Or?
And I one of their clips, I haven't watched the full video yet. One of their clips came on TikTok and they're like joking about with the merging scene. And then they show the Twin Towers like being destroyed. And I'm like, oh, I did not see that when we watched.
Oh, God.
I like that. That was 1993. That was less than 10 years later. You're going to regret that scene.
Super Mario Brothers predicted it.
Mario flew the plane.
No, that was just Magic Koopa.
It was just a bullet bill.
No, that was Mondo Bill.
Oh my God. Jeez, Lucas, you came in with the kill on that one.
Bowser was behind 9/11.
King Koopa.
Oh, yeah. Alex, they only call Bowser Koopa in the movie. He's never called Bowser.
Well, I mean, it was...
Well, in Japan, he was never called Bowser. He was always called King Koopa in Japan.
Yeah, where did the name Bowser even come
He's
from?
just King Koopa. Bowser came from one of the major employees of Nintendo of America. His name is actually something Bowser.
Yeah, he's. I believe he became the new head after.
Because he was King Koopa in the older ones, and then he just suddenly changed to Bowser, like Princess Toadstool and Peach. Like, what happened to that?
Oh, it's Peach Toadstool, but
Well, same thing.
except in the movie because it's Daisy Toadstool.
Oh my God. Yeah, Peach is too.
Well, I guess
too
that-
innocent for that. Movie.
I told Katrina, it's like I always say Daisy is the better princess. If you ever look at that movie, you can prove me wrong. Because whenever I talk about Daisy's best princess, I will never talk about the movie.
Well, I did find it
Daisy's,
odd
like,
because
really good though.
Daisy's the princess of Sarasaland, right?
Yeah, and they made her they mentioned it. And it's not called that in the movie, but they brought up this mushroom kingdom because all the fungus everywhere.
Well, isn't Sarasaland actually supposed to be a
Fungi.
desert kingdom?
Yes.
Because in the movie, aside from the city, the entire planet is
It's
desert.
But instead, they made Dino Hatton, because I just called it Kuba's Dino Hatton, covered in fungus, and then Kuba offhandedly calls it the Mushroom Kingdom because of all the fungus around. I don't know. It's just like, I can watch it and enjoy it for being dumb. In an analytical way, it is horrible.
My brain hurts.
I mean, it is
Not much brain to hurt, is there?
Because it's surrounded entirely by desert in the movie. So that part at least is accurate.
Probably, yeah.
And I brought this up in the podcast. I brought this up during the commentary. The credit scene. Credit scene where they're back at home and they're talking about like the Mario Brothers saving the world, which they shouldn't know anything about on the news. And then Daisy comes in with a gun in hand. It's like, Mario, Luigi, we need you. Hard cut the credits.
And Mario just grabs the plumber's belt.
Really?
Yeah, it's like they left it open for a second movie, but no one wanted to make a second.
Thank God.
Nintendo, they wanted to. We talked about this in the commentary too. Nintendo wanted to do live-action movies of their properties. They actually had a Metroid one in pre-production, but once Mario bombed, they dropped any hopes of it. The next live-action movie they did, Detective Pikachu, and you know what? That was good.
Well, yeah. It's Pokemon.
I actually still need to watch that one.
It's in the pipeline. I actually think I have it installed on the drive now.
God.
I don't know if Friday we'll do Detective Pikachu or Thursday if we'll do Detective Pikachu or Star Wars, but it's one of those.
But a Metroid movie actually.
Pikachu, please.
We'll do Detective Pikachu on Thursday then, because I think. How soon are you gonna be here on Thursday?
Huh?
How soon are you gonna be here on Thursday?
I'm not being here on Thursday.
Thursday, it's the same as today.
I wasn't looking at the time. You're gonna have to tell me an actual time.
I'm not.
I'm in class from like 9:30 to like 12 or something.
So 12ish. So we'll come in at 12. The record.
Yeah, I get my class ends at
What is
10:30.
What is it? The time class ends?
12:50.
12:50.
The
so.
mandatory lab ends at 12:50, so I'm not going there.
So are you gonna be here for Detective Pikachu or not?
I just told you no.
You said not going there, as you didn't specify which. We can wait till 1 if we need to. I'm just saying if we.
12:50. So.
Oh, I'm not going
so
to that.
1
I am
o'clock.
not sitting through Detective Pikachu again. That one like hurt my brain.
Ryan Pikachu Reynolds.
Ryan Pikachu.
Oh my God.
That's his official middle name, Ryan Pika Reynolds.
Ryan, pick out Reynolds.
Yep.
I'm a
yeah,
Pikachu.
So 1 o'clock.
Yeah, okay, so we might do that. So I love how we went so long on Ruby and Mario now. Like those are the only two common. We had our Sonic one too. Last week. So we did Sonic on Wednesday, then we did Ruby and Mario on Friday.
Thursday.
Did we do Sonic Thursday?
Yeah, I wasn't here Friday.
Yeah.
No, we did our Ruby and Mario on Friday.
I wasn't here Friday.
Yeah, we did on Friday because then Katrina and I had to go to the dance on it, and that was Friday night.
I thought
That
was
was
on Thursday.
Thursday.
It was Friday.
That
Yeah.
was Thursday.
Yeah, because I didn't come in on Friday because I.
That was
I
Thursday.
could have sworn to God that was Friday.
No, it was
Thought
Thursday.
it was Thursday. It was Thursday. Because the day after I was tired and practically dead.
As tired and dead as I am now.
Exactly.
That's why I thought it was Friday. I just want to sleep.
I was tired
Yeah,
and practically
because,
dead. And yet I didn't know
because
better
the
than you.
Friday after.
That's what you think, laddie.
Friday was
That's
when
what
we
you
did
think,
the
laddie.
Uno, I believe.
Nobody expects the Irish accents.
I thought it was Scottish. No one expects you to be
Top of the
Friday-
morning to you.
Friday was the Uno tournament.
Yeah. Yeah, for those who don't know, Friday last week there was an Uno tournament at the esports lab,
I should have come. I might have won that one.
which ended in pure chaos.
Actually, Gage and I were the winners.
I got my Star Wars pop figure. I'm happy.
I knew it was gonna be Star Wars. Don't regret losing. I didn't need.
What'd you
Well,
get?
I got the Rockies mascot pop figure.
Oh my god. Boop, 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 boop.
Okay, I feel like we were kind of running out of energy, so we kind of went
Yeah.
through. We kind of had a station day, and we won't do our other thing today. So I'll probably have an official slideshow done by next week.
Okay.
So we covered a few things. We talked about a couple like trailers and movies and all that. We talked about Celebration and all that. We got more time out of it than I thought we would. So.
An hour and 30 minutes to be exact.
All right, so this has been Achievement Unlocked. I've been your host, Gage. Joining me today has been Lucas, Katrina, and Alex.
Hello.
All right, and goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Hey!